Hey guys, what's up? It's Andrew, and today we are making a new video on loot from 2,800 Venenatis kills. Yes, you heard that right, 2,800 kills of one of the most toughest bosses in the game. Not tough to kill, but this boss is tough in the sense that its defense is extremely high, and it can one-hit you at any time, as you're about to see here. But anyway, so there's a lot to get into for this video, but luckily I can kind of take my time with it. There you see the one-hit KO. So this boss has a pet that I'd really like to go for, and as you see, you're going to see whether or not I get it in this video. The drop rate is 1 in 2,000, so doing 2,800 kills in this video, I'll have a very good chance of getting it, and you'll see if I do by the end. It could really pop up at any time. Not going to tell you guys when it does. But yeah, this is a boss that people kill for many reasons. One is, like you see with the Dragon Pickaxe, the money. This is extremely good money. I believe that this boss is top 5 money makers in the game, period. Almost for sure. I almost believe that for a fact. The money from this boss, and you'll see in all these clips, I'm just making endless money. There's Grimy Snapdragons, there's Onyx Bolt Tips, there's Dragon Pickaxes, there's Tyrannical Rings, there's Elite Clue Scrolls. There's so much you can get from this boss very quickly that's worth a ton of money. And you'll see my kill count go up very quickly here. It's going to be chronological order. There's a D-Pick and an Elite Clue Scroll. My kill count will go up, and you'll see these clips actually in chronological order. They're going to go by fast like they are now, because if I showed a minute of every clip or something, this video would be like 10 hours long, and instead I wanted to make it 15 minutes, so they're going to go by pretty quick, but you'll be able to see the loot no problem. Speaking of the loot, we're not going to show too many of them, but the normal drops for this boss are very good. All the rune items, seeds, magic seeds, gems, magic logs, they all add up actually very quickly. You even get cannonballs, which can kind of partially replenish your supplies. So again, I don't have time to show you guys all of those little drops, but those add up big time to maybe 20 to 30% of the entire profits. So like I said, we have a lot to talk about in this video, and the first thing I want to talk about is the method. Now, because I've done this boss so much, I do want to make a very comprehensive guide for this boss before, and I've shown this boss before in videos, and people have suggested guides already, so it's definitely something that I'm going to make in the future. But I'll touch on my method a little bit. So obviously you see here I'm cannoning. I have the cannon in a double hit spot where it will always shoot twice at Venenatis, and here's our first treasonous ring of this video. But yeah, a lot of people seem to safe spot this boss, and safe spotting Venenatis is actually extremely slow. There's really no reason to do it unless you're very low level, because you can tank the boss, and Vengeance can deal a lot of the damage the boss does to you right back at her. So wasting your time with the safe spot is really not worth it at all. You can kill this boss within 15 seconds a lot of the time by just killing it the normal way, and you don't really have to eat a lot, because the one thing that actually matters a lot at Venenatis is defense. If you have a lot of defense, and Verac in these early clips does, the boss will not hit very accurately on you. Here's one upgrade I made to get here earlier. I made a ancient obelisk, like the wilderness obelisks, in my house. This was an update that came out with Revenants, and it gives us a little bit of a faster way to transport ourselves to Venenatis, so you'll be able to see that in the coming clip, that it's just a tiny bit faster. It's actually a really nice thing. It's not super worth it unless you grind Venenatis out like me. So you're going to see here you can go to 19 wild and then teleport to destination, enter, and I'll show you on the map here that it's just a little bit closer than going to the Corp Cave, which is normally the other way people get to Venenatis. It also has the benefit of you don't have to leave the Corp Cave every time. You can just start running right away. But yes, anyway, with the method, you can easily get 5 to 10 kills per trip, killing Venenatis tanking it, and as long as your defense is good, she will not hit you very accurately. In fact, it's actually quite common to have kills where Venenatis does not hit you at all, but that's only if you have good defense. So Verac is pretty good defense, luckily, but you'll see later in this video, in some of the breaks of the actual loot, we're going to be upgrading our defense and even switching to range. But in the meantime, Verac will do pretty good. And the other thing, speaking of defense, Venenatis herself has extremely high defense. Extremely high. Just for comparison, the Corporal Beast has a defense level of 310, and Venenatis has a defense level of 490. So the defense is just extremely, extremely high. Most weapons will not hit Venenatis at all. Like if you brought a Dragon Warhammer thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna, knock that defense down, your Dragon Warhammer will probably hit 1 out of 30 times. Like, it's just not even worth using an item like that. BGS I've tried, and you might see it in one or two of these clips later on, and even that does not hit very accurately, and that's one of the most accurate weapons in the game. So you basically either need the Verac set, which has the chance of ignoring defense entirely, which is really the crucial thing here, or a bolt spec. So like the Diamond Dragon Bolt spec is very good. The cannon obviously does not hit a lot, but it does hit a little bit, and it does speed up kills noticeably. It might do like 20 to 30% of the damage of each kill, so it's definitely worth using, although it's not technically the most efficient use of cannonballs if you're limited on them, like if you're an Iron Man or something, because you'll go through cannonballs pretty quickly here, although you do get a decent amount of them back because Venenatis frequently drops 250 of them. Another thing I really like about this boss is that it's a very good duo boss. You can do duo like you're seeing here very easily and get all these D picks like I'm getting. There's a second double hit spot for the cannon, so it's really no problem. It doesn't create any problems to do duo. You know, if you do a boss like Vorkrath or whatever, you can only do solo for this boss. But if this boss you want to bring your friend along, that's totally fine. And actually only one of you has to tank the boss at once. And the next thing I want to show you guys is the mysterious emblems. So you can kill Venenatis on the Bounty Hunter world, which is world 18 as you see here, and it will have a 1 in 5 chance of dropping a mysterious emblem, which is a very nice drop because that's 125k, and that's an additional drop compared to all these Snapdragons and all that, so you can really make so much money with the emblems, and I'll show you a few clips of that here. You know, it's a 1 in 5 drop, and you can maybe do 30 to 40 kills an hour of Venenatis, especially duo. It really depends. Your kills per hour is going to vary greatly, so it's hard to put a number on it. But I'll show you the emblems in a second, and yeah, it adds another, I'd say about $1 mil to your profits per hour. Here's just another trip we did. You know, you get the emblems in there. You know, people do emblem farming and stuff like that. This is emblem farming while making a whole bunch of crap ton of money on top of it, and it really does add up. Obviously, you can't always do this on the Bounty Hunter world. If someone just keeps bothering you or a PKer comes, you know, you have to maybe hop worlds. But the emblems, look at that. Emblem and a dragon pickaxe at the same time. That is really, really nice. So even though the boss is in the wilderness, I have actually never died to a PKer doing this. And look at that, it's a nice drop as well. Treasonous Ring and the emblem. But yeah, so I've actually never died to a PKer killing Venenatis, knock on wood. I'm sure after this video, if I ever go back there, there's going to be a huge clan coming to kill me. But yeah, there are some tricks you can do. You can actually kill the boss in single combat if you would like. It just takes a moment to set up. And if you run east, you're actually in single combat right away. So for some reason, I just never really found many PKers here, and the ones I have found, I've been able to get away from. I could die eventually. It's not really a problem. If I did die, I would lose a few mil. You know, it's not the end of the world. So it's just something to think about. You know, people are very afraid of killing bosses in the wilderness because getting PK'd, but I've never died doing this. So, and here's some more emblems to show you guys. 6 in that trip, and just all these other normal drops add up a lot. The blood runes, death runes, things like that. And actually just want to show you this was a day or a night of doing Venenatis, and we have 25 emblems here, which just adds an extra multiple millions to the total profits. Another thing I really like about this boss, which I mentioned briefly earlier, is the elite clue drops. It has a 1 in 50 chance of dropping an elite clue if you wear the Ring of Wealth imbued, which obviously doubles the chance of all monsters in the wilderness dropping a clue scroll. So that's a very good way to get master clues. I pretty frequently have an elite clue in the bank by the time I'm done doing Venenatis for the night, and I got a master clue to do to go for that Bloodhound as well. So this stretch, I got a lot of dragon pickaxes you're about to see. Plenty more dragon pickaxes in this video. When I first started doing Venenatis, and here's selling a few of them, they were around 3 mil each, and now they're over 4 mil each. So even though I've added like 30 of them into the game or something like that, they continue to go up in price. I guess because they're useful in raids and stuff. People always want to pay the big price for them. There's more and more of them. I mean, they just keep on coming non-stop, which definitely can't complain about that. Even another one, look at that. And we're almost approaching 2,000 kills here. Another one. Holy shit. But anyway, yes. Yeah, so 2,000 kills would be the drop rate for the Venenatis pet. And I have never once surpassed that, the kill count to get a pet for a boss. Like, I've never done more kills than the drop rate suggests. Like, for example, KBD, I came very close. The drop rate for the KBD Prince is 1 in 3,000, and I got to 2,740 kills. But in this case, it's actually going to happen. there's kill 2000, and I still, at least in this point of the video, do not have the Venenatis Pet. So from here on out, we are getting unlucky, the fact that I don't have the Venenatis Pet. It's kind of weird to say that I'm getting unlucky with the fact that I've gotten so much money to this point, and there's another Dragon Pickaxe. But yeah, I am unlucky. I should have the pet by now, but I do not. But we still got a bunch more kills to go, so let's see if we can get any more. There's a D2H, something I didn't really mention earlier, but it's a rare drop, but it's not really worth much. So at this point, I've been switching to range, and I decided, let's get an Ellie. I mean, let's take some of this cash stack that I have, sell off some more gear, and try to get an Ellie. So speaking of gear, I do think that range is better, because you can have more defense bonus with range, because you can have a shield. And while Veracs can have that lucky 30s, like constantly with the set effect, the accuracy of range is very good, and the defense of Venenatis for range is not as good as its melee defense. So I do think that range is better at Venenatis, and I will go into that more in my guide. But anyway, here is the Elysian Spirit Shield, 477 mil. This was the lowest price it was at after it crashed after Raids 2, and now it's around 505 mil, so even if I wasn't using it at Venenatis, it was actually worth buying. But yeah, and here's testing it out at Venenatis. So this was one of the bosses that the Ellie originally did not work against, but now it does. And it is super great here. It just makes range, which I think is still the better method of Venenatis, even better. As you saw in many of those clips, I was using the Blessed Spirit Shield, and I was finding that range with the Blessed Spirit Shield is definitely better than Verac's, but range with the Elysian is way better than Verac. So Verac is actually good. You can, if you're competing with a ranger, you can get a lot of kills with Verac, but you will get hit much less using range, and your accuracy will actually be a little bit better. So I really am liking the Ellie combination with the range at this boss. That's another thing too. This boss drops a shit ton of food. The 8 Dark Crabs and the 3 Super Restores is one of its most common drops, so it's a very nice boss to go to because you can have really long trips by just getting these Dark Crabs over and over. Another thing that's really nice about doing duos for this boss, or even multiple people, is most of the items are noted, like those 100 Grimy Snapdragons, so your splits can be very easy because all you have to do is just trade the other person and they'll give you the 50 Grimy Snapdragons, or vice versa. Same with the Onyx Bull Tips, you can just trade them 30 of them because there's 60 of them. And look at that, there's 2 depicts, so what my duo partner was actually able to do for this trip is just trade me 1 Dragon Pickaxe, although that kind of went awry when we got a 3rd one there. But yeah, so it's a very nice boss to duo, and Verax and range can both be competitive. So now we're approaching 2,500 kills, so we would be 500 over the drop rate. But there's another Tresinous Ring, which is very nice. I think I pronounced that 2 different ways in the video now, but that's alright. But yeah, we've gotten every other drop except that. We've gotten multiple rings, obviously clue scrolls. We've gotten long bones, even though I haven't showed you guys any of those. The only 2 drops we do not have this far in the video is the Venenatis Spiderling and the Curved Bone. The Curved Bone is actually rarer than the pet. It's 1 in 5,000, whereas the pet is 1 in 2,000. I do like how the wilderness bosses have the kind of low drop rate for the pets, you know, 1 in 2,000, and there it is, kill 2,500. But it's not seeming to matter for me because we are already over 2,500 kills. But there is still time left. We got 300 more kills to go. There's another D2H again. That's actually a very rare drop, but it's not worth a whole lot, but it's occasionally worth showing. More emblems. I started doing more on the bounty hunter worlds at this point, just because I figured if I'm not going to get the pet, might as well get some money as well. Here's a Bandos pet. This is the wrong one though, but this guy said he really likes the Bandos pet, so I brought it for a trip. But yeah, magic seeds, that's another thing this boss drops a lot. Here's back-to-back magic seeds actually. We got a lot more that I'm going to show in this video. It wasn't obviously worth showing all of them. But yes, whether or not we get the pet in the next 200 kills, this boss is definitely a cash cow, and I'm surprised it's not being camped on literally every single world. I don't think it's unfair how good money it is either. Like, look at that emblem and a D-pick, because it's in the wilderness and people can come and kill you at any time, but they just don't seem to very often. Anyway, here's the last loot clip, and unfortunately I have to announce that I did not get the Venenatis pet in 2,800 kills. It's a big disappointment. It's been a big disappointment ever since I passed 2,000 kills. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it very soon. You just can't give up. Like I said, this is the first time that I've ever gone over the drop rate for a pet. But it does happen, and with all the pets I have, I think I have like 10 or 11. It was bound to happen eventually in one of the pet hunts. That's why it's best to broaden your scope when you're pet hunting. You don't always want to just keep grinding for the same pet like I have been, but it's just almost been like a mental block. Like I can't do anything else until I get that damn Venenatis pet, but we will get it soon. A couple things to mention before we end this video as we show these kind of crazy cannon clips here. One kind of funny thing that happened today is, well, actually yesterday I told my friend Shrined, he's actually doing Venenatis on his Iron Man to get a dragon pickaxe. I told him, I bet you'll get the pet before you get a dragon pickaxe, and sure enough today he gets the pet at around 100 kills, so kind of frustrating for me that that actually happened. My prediction came true, but it's really funny at the same time, and who knows, maybe this will spark my own luck to get the pet. He also did actually get a dragon pickaxe on 9 kill count on the same day from Callisto, so hopefully I will have some of that same luck. I didn't include everything that happened in my Venenatis journey in this video, like I didn't include all the PKR escapes or really any of them, because the video would be way too long, and also maybe they would be interesting and useful to kind of show for demonstration purposes when I do make that guide. But let me know if you guys do want to see that Venenatis guide. Like I said, I don't think I'll make it right away, but you know, once this video pans out, I think it'd be definitely something to make, because I'd love to show you guys how to do Venenatis the right and the most efficient way and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys want to see that, and please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. This is the longest I've ever spent editing a video. It is 1:40 in the morning right now, and I started editing for this video around noon. Obviously I've taken a lot of breaks, but it has taken a long time because I had to shift through around 100 hours of footage and find all these drops just to pull like 5-second clips out of them. So it really took me a long time, and I feel very satisfied that it's all over. But yeah, I think this video turned out very nicely, showing all that loot. So I probably made around 300 mil in total, at least probably more than that, honestly. That's a conservative estimate. The dragon pickaxes alone might have been over 150 mil. And I also didn't show every single loot that I've gotten in this video either. Obviously the normal drops, and there's plenty of times where I've forgotten to record or accidentally deleted the recording or didn't have space to save the recording. So there's more drops than what you actually see. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Please join the AndrewAJT 62 clan chat up on screen. It's my general discussion, PVM, PvP, bossing clan chat that I've run for 8 years. That'll be up on screen, AndrewAJT 62. Also, please subscribe and like if you haven't already. When you do subscribe, please click the bell to get notifications whenever I upload, because YouTube has been messing around with the sub boxes, so the bell is becoming even more important now. You can also follow me on Twitter down below. I'll follow you back if you play RS. You can follow me on Twitch down below. You can join our Discord. Even if you can't join our clan chat, feel free to join the Discord and post pictures like the 9 kill count D pick and the Venenatis Spiderling pick that I showed you before. Those were taken from the Discord, so I always like to see you guys what you guys can get from bosses in there as well. And we got all the voice channels and stuff for PVM and all that good stuff. You can also feel free to check out the video in the end screen in which my friend Kratos gets a Venenatis pet in also under 100 kills, which is really insane. You can also check out the video of my first 400 kills of Venenatis in the description. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys hopefully soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.